Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Thursday, the 1st of June, comes to you from London. And we start, as always, by looking at currencies, then stock markets, commodities, and last of all, some US tech stocks. And we start with the dollar index. Dollar still in this medium-term downtrend. We're below the cloud here. Long-term, we're still bullish, and that's hard to believe when we've seen such a sell-off, but the cloud shows us that we're still above the cloud. We do have these upside targets and upside trend on the long term, and even the medium term point and figure chart, the 0.5% chart, is also a long-term upside. So it's just the short term that we're seeing the downside potential. 4% downside activated, 2.3% upside not yet activated. That would be activated with a move above 97.80. So we've got work to do. Really, we need to move above the recent high that we saw this week. So at the moment we're testing the bottom again, and so we're just in a bearish frame of mind short term. And the euro is consequently bullish. We see here the medium term trend not quite breaking out again in the long term chart, and we see here on these point and figure columns we really need to start moving above these columns to negate those downside targets. Looking at the Japanese yen, we see here also the dollar is falling, yen strength, and in fact the yen is strong on all three charts. So 2% downside, as much as 12% downside, although the point and figure trend here is up. So mixed picture generally at the moment. And if we look at sterling just back above the cloud short term against the dollar, so that's looking bullish. Medium term is bullish, but the long term has still got work to do. We do have an upside target of 136. That's about nearly 6% upside. And we're seeing a similar upside 138 on the medium term chart, but we do have these downside targets hanging over us as well. So again, a mixed picture. The sterling is still bearish in the long term. Looking against the euro, we're seeing here sterling is actually looking bearish on all three charts. We're below the cloud, so sterling looking bearish there, and looking bearish against the Swiss franc, about to activate a downside target of 120. That's 3.5% downside. So sterling is just weakening against most currencies. The Australian dollar, like the US dollar, sterling is looking stronger. So it's more about dollar weakness than it is about sterling strength. Looking at the S&P 500 index, we've broken this 2400 level, but we're really struggling to run with it this week. We see here the weekly candle is virtually nothing on the chart, so just a very flat week, which is showing out in the 60-minute chart, but bullish upside potential on these charts. Nasdaq also looking bullish. Dow Jones Industrial Average also looking bullish, and the Russell 2000 not quite as bullish. So this the broader market still struggling a little bit. The S&P future is up very slightly this morning, and the Nasdaq E-mini up 0.5% as well. So no clear signs that we'll see a strong opening yet. The FTSE 100 index yesterday struggled a little bit, but we're still looking bullish on all three charts, as is the FTSE 250, a really strong showing this start of this year. Just pausing for breath at the moment. If we make a new high, we activate a new upside target of 5% upside. So that's quite significant. The DAX really struggling in the short term, just been very flat, but the long and medium term charts are bullish. The Nikkei also just back into a little bit of a bullish phase now, so that's looking better with that stronger yen. Hang Seng is looking bullish on all three time frames, and Shanghai also looking bullish in the short term, although the medium and long term is still bearish. The Indian index, Sensex, is looking bullish, and the Australian market just struggling still in the short term. Brent crude recovering a little bit, but bearish on all three charts. We've got downside targets of 49 and 48. Not the 48 target not yet activated, but 4% downside there. Looks like we're going back below $50 pretty soon. And WTI, we're seeing a downside target of 47, so that's a 3% downside. US Nat Gas just holding the $3 level, but bearish in the short term. And if we go straight to looking to gold, we see here on the gold chart that we're actually bullish on all three time frames, just building some support there. And the silver chart not looking quite as bullish. 10-year Treasury yields in the US, 2.2%. We are seeing a little bit of downside there, so just struggling in the short and medium term. Apple still holding its bullish position and Google really looking very strong still. Amazon also looking strong, just struggling at that $1,000 level, but almost certainly will break it based on this chart. Facebook above the cloud on all three time frames, as is Microsoft. So still looking pretty strong in tech. Watch for a stronger week next week. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.